What's up with this slip of paper? I can't read all these tiny letters. You see, these are the contracts for your loans, like totally. What? Why would a punk have something like that? And not just for your bakery. They're loan contracts for all of you in the Dawn Shopping District, like totally. Oh, why? This could be trouble. Why does someone have, why does someone like that have those? You already know, because Richard gave them to him. Hey, don't think we just walk around stupidly leveling false charges all the time, like totally. Our consigliere is super smart, and you're no match for him. Like totally. Hey, but why? Those businessmen started muttering to each other. Yeah, fuck it. Let him call the loan. Who gives a fuck? He'll just send people. And you know what we'll do? It's the same people coming right now. Fuck them. Apparently that thing Tequila held was more than a joke. So, we can't just resolve this by beating the crap out of those punks? I mean, we can. Take the paper. Take the loans. Fuck it. I hate to say it, but that's how it is. President, did you borrow money from these punks? The one we borrowed money from was much more merciful. Everyone in the Dawn Shopping District has significant loans with a certainly elderly landowner. So we beat the shit out of him. They aren't loans, they're a huge debt of gratitude we owe. Without old Amakawa's compassion, which is deeper than the ocean, we wouldn't have been able to start our shops up again, much less form the Dawn Shopping District. There's this old Amakawa. He's a really huge landowner who managed the area around the Edo River. There used to be a pompous geezer called Amakawa Shoten. Hey, Sean, there's no way to speak about him. Without that man's generous heart, the Dawn Shopping District wouldn't have ever existed. Tokyo's old downtown district covers Koto City, Sumida City, and Arakawa City. At the time, C23, Old Edogawa District, was a corner of the Tokyo metropolis, but it wasn't thought of that way in old Edo times. It used to be the nearest rural area to Edo, where farmers and fishermen eked out a living, and where even enough natural scenery remained that the shogun would visit to practice falconry. The Amakawa family was a big landowner that possessed this vast area around the Edo River. At the time, they had been even known as Lord Edogawa. They had tried to make the land prosper with commerce, beyond just farming and fishing, and had been generous in their support. Then came the war and great disaster. All the businessmen had suffered devastating blows, and while they hung their heads without even the funds to rebuild, old Amakawa had reached out a hand of salvation to them. Old Amakawa was gravely ill due to an injury he suffered from the great disaster. He gathered us around his sickbed and told us this. I'll lend you as much money as you need, so I want you to revitalize this city no matter what happens. After saying that, before he could see the city's revival, he passed away. I see, so he lent money for free. However, while small sums of money aren't a problem, the borrowing and lending of large sums needs to satisfy the requirements of law. So they'd drawn up contracts in the form of loans to make it all official. And sure enough, these contracts outline the loan repayment deadlines and methods, detailing the interest and penalties to be applied for lack of payment. However, old Amakawa had only drawn up contracts as a formality. He left the world after saying he would extend all repayment deadlines indefinitely, allowing them to pay them back whenever they became prosperous again. Those people went on to revive their businesses as the Dawn Shopping District. The name Dawn came from the first character in old Amakawa's real name, Shoten. It was Dawn so they could never forget the favor they owed that man. And like fucking Richard gives a fuck. In other words, the Amakawa geezer only let you guys have freebies when I came to paying it off like totally. That doesn't change the fact that you borrowed money and have to return it like totally. Now that old Amakawa has passed away, what happened to the bond of debt? There's a distant relative of the Amakawa family in Omori or somewhere. The person should have inherited the bond of debt. That Amakawa Omori is a truly wonderful person. They inherited old Amakawa's spirit and said they'd extend the repayment indefinitely. So, why does this man have the bond of debt in his hands? I went to Omori and bought up all the loans. You are Akutoko. Well, his face definitely says his name. It's got Vice written all over it. This man is a disgrace to the Dawn Shopping District. What'd he do? He acted like our representative and tried to steal that geezer Amakawa's money by force. I was just trying to invest your money and make it grow, and now you call me a swindler? Shut up, swindler! Even you received so much from old Amakawa when he was alive. Oh, I do, old Amakawa. But I've got nothing but grudges for you people. All this time I've been waiting for a chance to get back at you. Like totally. And there you have it. Like totally. Mr. Akutoku went all the way to Omori, piled up a whole bunch of money, bought up the loans. Like totally. Okutoku pretended to represent all of the Dawn Shopping District and made contact with the Amakawa family in Omori. We can't rely on old Amakawa's charity forever. Our shopping district has gathered up money, so we'd like to buy off those loans. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be buying them off, it would be paying them off, but whatever. The Amakawas in Omori were overjoyed, since this was a chance to make a lot of money off the loans that normally wouldn't have earned them anything. And when a representative of the Dawn Shopping District told them that they had recovered, the Amakawas had no reason to refuse. Of course, Primavera had prepared all the money Tequila had encouraged Akutoku. He had drawn up the plan, and Richard had approved it. In this way, Akutoku and Tequila successfully gained something vital to the Dawn Shopping District. I've never forgotten my grudge against you all for calling me a swindler. Wow, you're such a fucking baby. Are you saying you did this to get back at us? Oh, what a coward. You used to be such a good person. Where did you go so wrong? Shut up! This all started when you got just that I was raking it in. And when I proposed that we all make money by sharing those profits, you called me a swindler. I'm so sad. Oh, woe is me. So anyway, our enemy is that slip of paper, is it? That's right. Even your punch can't defeat these loans. Like, totally. So, what are you telling us to do? Ever since you all borrowed from old Amakawa, you haven't paid back a cent. So in accordance with the loans, I'm going to take all your shops. Hand your shops over right now. No. No. That's so heartless. What? Okay. What are you going to do about it, bitch? No. Go call the cops. I don't fucking care. I didn't sign those loans. That's not my signature. You have someone here that can verify that was me that signed it? Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. Also, if it's been X amount of years, you could fucking just say statute of limitations on it. But that's current day. Old Amakawa must be crying. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Shut up. Then why don't you bring in that crying old Amakawa here? I'll cry and bow to. Seriously, what the hell? Hey, Mr. Vice, you're free to chase us away. But how do you plan to make money off an empty shopping district? Oh, like totally. And now Primavera has a merciful offer for you. If they couldn't pay off their unpaid loans right away, then according to the contract, they would have to hand over the shops. However, if they regularly paid support money to Primavera's Countrymen and Mutual Assistance project, the repayment on the loan would continue to be postponed indefinitely. No. Fuck them. I'd rather them waste money. And then what you do is you burn your own shop down. Fuck it. To think scum could sink so low. Even if we had money to pay back that geezer Amakawa, why the hell would we pay Primavera? Hey Sean, be quiet. Pardon us. If we pay you support money, you'll let us keep our shops, yes? Like totally. Even I get tired of beating you all up all the time. What do you say about selling this all to now? Like totally. We'll give you time to think. Will you fold up your shops or pay Primavera? Will you bow down and apologize for calling me a swindler? Or will you bring me a crying old Amakawa? Choose whichever you like totally. Fuck him, I don't give a fuck. And don't pay it. Tell him to get fucking bent. I don't care. Hey, Jean. Looking pretty pathetic there, huh? Like, totally? You just gathered the blockheads together and started acting like a leader. Now you're suddenly stuck. Like, totally. Shut up. We don't know if we're really stuck or not yet. Our consigliere says you need 3 things to be a leader. I'll tell you specifically right now, like, totally. Influence, wealth, and force, right? Bingo, like, totally. John, you're just a part-timer with no influence at all. And you've got a pauper without it, and you're a pauper without any wealth. Well, actually, she does have influence, but whatever. You're enough of a shrew to have a bit of force, but that's it. And you're not at all qualified to be a leader. There's no way you'll become John d'Arc of the Don Shopping District. Like, totally. Huh. She will, and it's gonna be based. I hope she fucking breaks his neck. Like the queen she is. How horrible. And just when we're back, finally gotten the shopping district back on track. So money of your unpaid debt beyond what you could possibly handle? Yeah, it is. Even if we did pay up, we wouldn't have enough money to maintain our shops. It'd be much cheaper to keep paying the support fees Tequila proposed. Still, I can't bear to bow my head to that Akutaku person. How could he spit in the face of old Amakoa like this? He's saying you all have to bow to him or hand over your shop, right? Sure, I'll go bow my head now. I've finally got my bakery back on track. I can't hand it over now. These shops are practically the only asset we have. If we give them up, we'll have nothing left. We can't hand over our shops after all we've been put through. Indeed, we should count ourselves fortunate that we didn't have to pay up what we owed before now. When you put it that way, perhaps paying support money is something that can't be helped. There's no way around it. This is the only thing we can't. No, we can't do that, people. We may have had a contract when it came to those loans, but there's no limit to their threats. True. If we fold now, they'll keep asking for money without end. I mean, you just say fuck it. I don't care. Because they just lose money that way. There's no way. Especially if you tear all of this shit down, ruin it. Then they have to have someone spend money to go there. So you won't just have someone like instantly open a shop. It'd be great. Because it fucking screw drives them. It just pounds in there. Because they paid so much money for loans that they're not getting a cent back. I agree. Even if we accept the deal, there's no guarantee they won't threaten you again. Hey, shut up, you two. What option is there other than paying up and bowing? No, doing it. If you do as they say, you might be alright for a while. But they'll definitely come again, demanding support money or approval money or whatever they want to call it. I know that, but they won't let us go under either. After all, we're the chickens laying golden eggs. They don't get anything by killing us. Yeah, but Richard's a fucking moron. And how did that work out during the Caleb era? What did they do to the chicken? If the going gets tough, they'll squeeze you down to the last drop. Primavera needs as much money as it can get for the feud with the GDS. It's going to be another Mafia feud. I can't believe Primavera is going to become the second Caleb. Richard is. Even if you do pay up, that won't bring peace. Except Richard's more stupid than Caleb. Instead, they'll use your money to buy guns and make a mess all over across the city. Everyone paying the money isn't our only solution. And we mustn't give in to them so easily. We have to refuse them together. If you try to jump forward first and save just your own shop, we'll lose our solidarity again. We've got to stick together and reject their threats. Ah, shut up, stupid John. How? What are you deciding for? Are you a company president? Are you a manager? You're just a mere sales girl. It doesn't matter to you whether the shop goes under or something happens to the shopping district. But our fortunes and lifestyles are on the line. You aren't even a part of this. Shut the fuck up, old man. President, let go. You're an outsider. We don't need your opinion. Fine, fuck you. I hope you go under. Fucking suck on a fucking cock. First off, you aren't our representative or leader. Since when did you represent us? With his arms made strong by years of bread making, the president lifted John by the back of the collar, pushed open the sliding door leading outside, and threw her out. Ow. President! Come on, out with you. You're an outsider. Come on, you and your bodyguard. Get out. Okay, fine, fuck it. I hope you all fucking die. Fucking burn down. Burn in hell. I don't care. People like that, I don't care. Someone refuses me? Okay. I'm not gonna beg to stay with you. I hope you die. Sure thing. Bye. The sliding door was closed. Jean, who'd landed on her butt, rose to her feet, while wiping off the dirt. She hung her head dispiritedly, in a way that wasn't at all like her. You okay? So I'm not even part of this, huh? Don't worry about it. Since you work here, you're definitely a part of this. No. I ran away from being a part of this. John? I'm not everyone's representative. I'm not a leader. Because I ran away from my job of keeping everyone together. No matter what words I say, they won't reach anyone's heart. Small drops of rain started to appear on the cloudy sky. However, John looked up at the sky, her mind racing. Her expression was filled with some kind of regret and resolution. John. Yeah? I'm going to go home and get ready. And then let's head out. Head out where? Around to a few places. Let's go take back a fate that I must fulfill. Sure. Anytime, cutie. Hey, Rose. Rose, the rain's getting stronger. Let's go back to the car. Wayne? Yeah. I think that I really wasn't a woman, well suited to being madam. It's not true. Even if you weren't well suited to it. I think you overcame that handicap after all your experiences, madam. That doesn't really help. Even so, I think I was an immature madam, with only a few years of experience after gaining that position. Everyone's immature. Put it that way, human life is internally immature. No. People in a position to lead others must not be immature. Because the cost of immaturity affects the fates of a great many people. True. I also may have brought a lot of comrades to their deaths because of my immaturity. Hey. We aren't allowed to be immature. A madam should be a person who has those qualifications from the start. I mean, there's something to be said about maturity, but it's impossible to have those qualities just by virtue of being alive. Like, then no one would be. You do have to sometimes learn from experience. That's just how it works sometimes. Talent, or maybe it's education environment. Only a person suited for the position of madam should be allowed to accept that title. I just disagree. That's why my sin is so great. Even though I knew I was immature until the time I was shot and wounded. I let my immaturity run wild, and ended up throwing the fates of so many into chaos. That's not true. Being wounded by such things were merely the heavy responsibilities of being madam. At the very least, Amanda was more qualified than me. Yeah, but she wasn't good at it. She was a school teacher, and she had a lot of experience teaching and guiding people. Like, necessarily, it was fucking shit. People will say, oh, it was intentionally shit. I mean, kind of. But it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it was still shit. Mara was wonderfully qualified with her charm and resilience. And Stella's clever wisdom made her an excellent candidate, too. Mara would be good. I did have the ability to mediate between them. But that doesn't make me qualified to be madam. The madam doesn't have time to waste on caring for people. She needs to have the ability to simply stand at the front and lead people with her back. I was never fit to be madam. But I couldn't quit either. Whether you're qualified or not, you are the Madam Rose. That's wrong. I should have kept on waiting. In order to pass the position on to someone who is truly qualified to be a Madam, I'm sure of it. Someone who is born with the fate of standing in front of the people, believing in that mission their whole life. I'm sure someone like that will appear soon. When I meet this person, I'm sure I'll finally be able to be freed from this sinfulness. Rose. How many people have had their fates thrown into chaos because of an immature woman like me? I'm sure this proves that I don't even have the right to regret all that has happened. Hopefully. When a madam with all the qualifications inherits everything, I want her to make it appear I had never existed in the first place. I want her to erase the shameful, sinful days where I was an immature madam. It's tough leading people. I thought Madame Rose was a saint, who rose up in response to the era. Even if she didn't feel that way at first, I was sure she felt so after becoming a madam. No one ever thinks of themselves that way. What? I'm sure everyone came to her one-sidedly for support like me. Since she was kind-hearted and wanted to live up to the expectations of those around her, I'm sure she acted the part of madam they all wanted. Even though I'd sworn to offer my life to her, and thought I understood her better than anyone else, Leo understands her. On that day, I realized it was just my conceit. This entire time, she'd been worrying and suffering. And not only could I not accept that, but I couldn't even support or understand it either. For the first time, I understood her and prayed. Prayed for the still unseen madam chosen by the heavens to quickly free her. Wayne, if you think of me as the madam, I have just one order. Yes, Rose? I have no guard I can trust and relax around more than you. And I know you're a tight-lipped person who can expect it even when I open my heart to you like this. If you meet a true madam, yes, support that person from the bottom of your heart. I'm sure that person will need you. I couldn't help but look up at the sky of the cold rain, covering my face with droplets. However, this was surely the greatest praise she had ever given me. With hot drops trailing down my face, I answered her. As I looked up at beyond the rainy sky, I was sure that she wanted her very existence to be erased. However, that alone couldn't be allowed, and I understood it clearly. Someday people would appear, who would understand that she was the true madam and praise her. Until that day, someone would have to remember her great achievements. I thought that surely this was the fate, the mission demanded of me by the heavens that brought me to her. God damn it, Lily. I mean, it makes total sense why she wouldn't just automatically assume, oh my god, everyone just fucking praised me. I'm great. Like, no one ever thinks that way. They always just think of the problems of everything. Whenever you think about something, you always think about what could have been, what I should have done, blah, 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 blah. And for some people, it's really hard to overcome with that, especially with the great responsibility of this, because you're gonna feel responsible for everyone's death, and that's probably what really bothers her the most. And it just sucks. But sometimes you just have to be able to move past and know that fucking death happens, and it's okay not to get just bogged down by it. Captain's totally worn out these days. He's literally the Major's pet. It's hardly surprising. And he's been confined to this floor for a whole year. Except when the Major brings him outside, he isn't even allowed to lay foot on the stairs. He's always under observation, whether he's eating, using the shower, or using the bathroom. I'd go insane after 3 days of that. I know the captain knows too much, but why all of this? They could just make up some crime and accuse him of and throw him in jail. And that's what makes the Major so creepy. The Major hates the Mafia and people who make use of him. He's probably trying to punish the captain for being in bed with Primavera for so many years. Even a prison has more privacy than this. What a horrible punishment. Having his freedom stolen for a year and being kept under close observation was a treatment on the level of torture. Even some of Gabriel's subordinates were starting to sympathize with this worn-out butler. However, while they sympathized, they had to quietly and mercilessly obey Gabriel's orders. They had to continue blocking all communication between Butler and the outside world. Perhaps they had pity on Butler, because they delivered him letters, though only from his family. Of course, they only delivered letters to him. They didn't let him respond. Even so, they believed these letters from the homeland soothed his heart, if only for a short time. But perhaps even those became chains holding Butler down. Because they brought news of his sister, living a life full of happiness, even though her ceremony kept getting delayed for various reasons. Oh, I swear to God, it's like they're fucking intentionally delaying the marriage. Like, Gabriel's somehow doing that. Wouldn't surprise me. And wait, what? I won't. Let this demon lay a finger on your happiness. The entire large fourth floor of the occupying forces at HQ Western Building was devoted to Gabriel's anti-organized crime department. There were always guards on that floor, preventing anyone who wasn't supposed to be there from entering. Even the Director General couldn't use the toilet there without Gabriel's permission. I'll just fucking piss on your carpet. Never thought I'd break into here. You can still withdraw now. If I do, something's gonna happen that can never be undone. Do you have a plan? Do you have the plan and layout memorized? Of course I do. If you mess up now, there won't be a chance to save you. I know. But this is my Yuki's revenge. Of course I hate this Gabriel guy. But I'm less concerned about whether he lives or dies, and more concerned about whether things go as he's got planned. Dead men tell no tales. At the current moment, we obviously can't let the captain die, but we mustn't kill the major either. They knew Gabriel was keeping Butler under house arrest. I don't know, I feel like you should just kill him. There's no way he was in that situation on his own will. If they could rescue him, he would surely listen to them. Richard would listen to Butler if he heard the truth of that crime from Butler's mouth. The misunderstanding with the GDS would be resolved. However, in actual fact, it would probably be almost impossible to rescue a man confined as Butler practically was. This was the headquarters of the occupying forces in C-23. If anyone even grew suspicious, it would probably be all over. In this era, MPs would fire without hesitation, even inside an HQ building. Fuck! What the shit? If something went wrong, the GDS couldn't afford to have the US military even more against them than they already were. As a result, the direct rescue itself would have to be done by Alan alone. The Chinese man being arrested at an occupying forces base was something the GDS had to avoid at all costs. Arrested? They just said they'd shoot on sight! What the fuck do you mean arrested? However, Alan was fully aware of all the danger. Even so, he had to do this. Beyond his talent as a sniper, Alan had abnormal courage and fighting experience. Yeah, just look at him. Look how based he is. Nearly everyone in the GDS could only speak Chinese, but Alan could speak Japanese. The fact that only he could communicate with Butler, who couldn't speak Chinese, was a huge point. Once he snuck in, he'd be quiet. He'd be keeping quiet the whole time, so it didn't matter that he didn't speak English. Of course, Lee had prepared beforehand, so that they would be able to back Alan up in various ways. He'd offer all kinds of support, including information and a map of the building. Even if an alarm went up and everything went to hell, as long as Alan could get Butler outside, a means of escape had been set up. He'd even been giving a cutting-edge silenced pistol used by Chinese military special forces. Hell yeah, just kill everyone. Of course, if he shot it, he'd be half dead already. In the worst case happened, he'd even been given a suicide pill. No. Thanks for everything. Sort of feels like I've become a spy. Only you will sneak up into that floor, but we will back you up using all we can muster. Jalon will also support and aid you as much as possible. I'll be counting on you, Shorty. Alan, who had already spent many days with the GDS, knew full well about the many skills packed into her small body. She would climb on the outer walls, becoming Alan's eyes and ears from the outside and providing support. However, it was raining. Unfortunately, it would be hard to find footholds. Even she didn't want to die. She'd support him as much as possible, but it had been explained to him beforehand that she would be limited. I get it. Even I wouldn't want to have to escape carrying both Xiaolon and the captain. She said that's my line. Alan didn't know how to read lips, and Xiaolon didn't speak Japanese. However, they learned a minimal level of hand signals and were capable of understanding each other enough that wouldn't inhibit them during this operation. Ever since the day they had decided to rescue Butler, the two of them had worked on this plan and trained together. The car stopped at the entrance of the occupying forces building. Get in there, buddy. The driver showed a parking permit and spoke with the MPs. Welcome to the occupying forces HQ. You have an appointment? I have a meeting with the Director General at 1600. Tell him Lee Meiju is here. I've thought this before, but you're pretty amazing. Do you speak both Japanese and English perfectly? The era when you could get by just speaking Japanese is over. Didn't you learn at least a little Chinese after living in China for a year? Only one phrase. It's a greeting. That one. That isn't a greeting. It means Japanese person. Is that so? Everyone said that when they looked at me, so I'm sure it just meant hello. I'm certain they were quite amused when you greeted them in kind. It was a courtesy call by Lee, an influential man in Small Rock, Chinatown. That did something. Alan had slipped in as one of his guards. With that, they made it into the HQ building. I thought they were just going to climb up the fucking window. They were all led into the reception room and told to wait. This was where the plan would start. I pray for your good fortune. I feel like this is way more risky, because they know he's a fucking guard for Lee. And he's going to just be seen walking out, right? Yeah. Alan slipped out of the reception room. This was his first time coming here, but the map had been thoroughly beaten into his brain. The first place he headed was a storage room for cleaning equipment, very close to where they had been. On the way, he passed by some chatting American officers, but Alan pretended to be looking for the bathroom, and they didn't notice anything out of place. Walk around like you know what you're doing. This was an area that visitors entered, so he wouldn't be suspected so easily. Just look like you belong. However, the Western building holding Butler wasn't a place visitors were allowed to go, obviously. This is it. There could be like ducks and shit that he's gonna climb through. It was locked, but a matching key had already been arranged for. The ability of Chinatown to arrange for things was truly astonishing. After checking that no one was watching, he quickly entered the cleaning supply room.